Hey guys, tightrope here, bringing you a 2v2 today. We are on Elst Outskirts. Today spawning in the south, we have Kaiser Friedrich playing as OKW. Immediately going for Elite Armour. Teaming up with him is S.L.A.Y.E.R, also with OKW. Going for Luftwaffe ground forces. From the north we have DarkRegion as Soviets, who has combined arms, defensive and guard motor. Finally Guard2707 as the British forces with commandos, mobile assault and Royal Engineer. In terms of rankings here, a ranged team on the Allied side around 30. Axis randoms. I forget which way around they are. Kaiser is 13 and S.L.A.Y.E.R is in the 40s, mid 40s. A skirmish here. Looks like Fox Trinities are going to lose. Comes down to the next model drop. Right, it's good for the Tommies. Cool wagon up to the north, shutting down some of this wiring. Gonna go for the crush on it even. Prioritize that over damage at the moment. And now the stern pies coming up. The squad a little bit occupied against the building, so good start there for S.L.A.Y.E.R in the north. Forcing away that machine gun. Section's doing well though against the stern pies. Okay. Officer for Guard2707, so a fast tech to kick things off. Conscripts come in here to try jam the capture. Good wagon, I'll try fight from range. Some story with the stern pies. Conscripts getting around the side of the heavy cover. Making it a little bit awkward for S.L.A.Y.E.R, doesn't know which is getting targeted, the Kubel or the stern pies, but doing a pretty good job switching angles. And now I jump onto the cutoff by S.L.A.Y.E.R, so even if this does get connected here, not going to be for long. Quite a lot of damage on that Kubel. That thing's done a huge amount of damage. Got tremendous value out of that Kubel. Trying to plant some sandbags here, but it's always quite risky at this very early stage of the game. You know, all these squads just continually being built. Arriving from base, hard to get a sandbag up with that position. And flamethrower comes in. Fortunately he's on the run. A bit of a late retreat, honestly. 2-2-1 meanwhile for Kaiser, but running straight into the Vickers and getting blasted. Lost about half its health. Could lose its life here even. Oh, that's close. Officer maybe hoping to finish the job. Not quite. Yeah, that was not the best. Maybe should have taken the long way around to prevent the rear armor getting exposed to that Vickers. 2-2-1, so lightly armored. Got to be a bit more cautious with it than that. Okay, locked into Royal Engineers and bringing in a recovery sapper, popping the flamethrower on it to start out as well. Getting a nice sandbag up on the fuel. Guard2707. Bit of a slow start for S.L.A.Y.E.R. I think maybe trying to save manpower and call in maybe double Fallschirmjäger. It is leading to a lack of firepower to contest the map right now. It's hurting the Axis a lot. 223 pops though, so it is much stronger. Can safely drive in here, but not take an anti-tank grenade. Has to back away. Surprise doing all right, but there's a lot of firepower here. They do eventually have to back out. No vets, not quite yet, but just about there. And an anti-tank gun in response to this for Guard2707. No AEC tech, so the AT gun's going to be the answer. Honestly, this should allow the 223 to actually do quite a lot of damage
Heavy machine gun group ready for action.
without getting chased down and killed. Looks like S.L.A.Y.E.R is going to come onto this side of the map a bit, drop some Fallschirmjäger out the back. There is a mine down here though. A couple mines actually, and going to sweep one of them at least. Sandbags coming up in the center, but yeah, overall pretty strong start for the Allies. They got an anti-tank grenade off on the 223 eventually as well. They back away here. Ooh, slightly late retreat, and the Royal Engineers go down. A grenade onto the 223 drives forwards. Ooh, still hanging in there. Good thinking, and you know, driving forwards on that road, boosting up the speed on the 223 a bit, helping it to get away from that grenade. So it should allow Kaiser to push back on the map quite nicely now. Squad wipe. 223's about done on repairs. Got the STGs coming through to bolster all weapons on the sections. Yeah, they're starting to fight back. Got the second squad of Fallschirmjäger down now as well. Molotov a little bit further out the back. Dodges away from the grenade. So this is a good range for the Fallschirmjäger and the Sturmpost to be operating at. I need to throw another Molotov here if he wants to try and win this. The Sturmpost are going to try to close the gap a bit. And then goes the next Molotov, catching two Sturmpost models. But the Kuhwagen coming in from the north as well. Late retreat on the Sturmpost. But they do get away. That was a close one though. S.L.A.Y.E.R needs to react a bit earlier than that. It's like a bit of vet on the 6-pounder. Must have got one shot through on the 223, which is now vetted up. Got the second accuracy bonus, which is very impactful. So much more lethal at this stage. Okay, coming around the corner here. 223. The T-gun sitting up. A little bit slow though.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Royal Engineers are not in position to throw a snare. They're coming across now, but look at how fast they got decrewed by the Vet 2, 223. I'll jump on it with this section here. Got the AT gun rolling up, hoping to finish off the decrewed weapon, but not able to do so. Vicker's going to set up with a take aim pointing this direction. Could be an AT gun this way as well. Oh, this could be the undoing of Kaiser. Oh, but it looks like the AT gun maybe had to reload because it was packed up the entire time. So didn't get a chance to fire there. Daring stuff from Kaiser, but it's working out very well. Just to reload now on that. Flamer doing well. Throws out a nade. Volkswagen is dead. The vehicle crew is what died, not an actual unit. And there we go. Eventually that does go down. So this comes to the anti-tank grenade. Guys are pushing that engagement a little bit too long. I'm surprised this Kitten hasn't come in to kill this off. He's had a very long window to finish that. And didn't get it done. Big mistake there from Kaiser. Could have at least got the AT gun kill in response. But did a huge amount of damage with that 223. And that's going to lead to a pretty smooth tech. Looks like this tech truck driving onto the field, which up against a British player, you generally don't like to see it. But hey, I mean, he's ranked 13. He knows what he's doing. Oh wow, putting down some of those tank traps from defensive, using them as cover. I think they're quite bad, but I haven't done too much testing on them compared to the US Forces ones. They're quite bad in terms of cover positioning though. Fitting squads behind. DarkRegion looks like he's hasn't got tier 3 tech down yet, so probably not going to be seeing a light vehicle from him. So this Raketin not ending up doing anything really for S.L.A.Y.E.R except for a bit of backcapping. Kuwagen's still a factor though thanks to that. No Soviet light vehicle. Does have to stay away from those 18As still though. Sandbags getting cleared off by the Raketin. Jump into the building here. The flamethrower's right there though.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one
But
of
actually
our
doesn't retreat too late with those Royal Engineers. Oh, there's quite a lot of negative cover here, and down they go, and they drop their flamer. Sternpires can collect that. Oh, but this could be a wipe and return. Machine gun from the side. Ooh, looks like the flamethrower didn't do any damage with that burst whatsoever. Unfortunate there for Guard2707. Retreating a bit earlier this time. And it looks like it's going to be alright. Guys are probably sick of me talking about those Royal Engineers, but yeah, until they get Vet 3, so squishy. You have to kind of recalibrate what you think is possible with that squad specifically, because it dies so fast in Vet 2 compared to most other Vet 2 units. About to get flanked by the Sternpires on the run now for DarkRegion. Kuwagen still peppering away. Got the second set of FG-42s upgraded on this Fallschirmjäger. Bit of a dangerous retreat path for them here, and they end up going down. A big volley from the Mosins. There we go, Fallschirmjäger dead. Thought there was probably over a 50% chance of them escaping there, but not by much more than that. And there we go, in return, combat engineer dead over here. High lethality game all round. Sternpires dead. So all sorts of casualties. Ober's coming in now for Kaiser. Did end up putting this on the field. It's an unusual position. Doesn't really cover the cutoff or anything quite far back. I still feel like it's possible that AVRE could drive up here and nuke it. So I'm not too confident with that still, and see how it goes though. Nice grenade there. Ooh, big damage. What is this Raketin doing? Finally sets up, but the Volkswagen take a big shot from the Cromwell. No longer healthy enough to recrew the weapon. Double Raketins rolling through, but not getting a chance. The second one. He's coming forwards with a big old blob, but no flamethrower on this combat engineer, making it more difficult. Just go eventually suppressing. Oh boy. Conscript's dead over here as well. DarkRegion having a bit of a nightmare to start out with this one. Too many squad losses. Take a quick look at 2 conscripts, 2 combat engineers dead. Or one conscripts.
Engineers ready for assignment.
Meanwhile, steals the MG-34 Guard2707. T-34 in the build for DarkRegion, getting this out at a reasonable timing. Axis definitely have been stronger on the fuel in the north. Those double Fallschirmjäger coming online, and DarkRegion suffering a few squad wipes. And there's OKW Panzer IV in the build for S.L.A.Y.E.R. Kaiser, of course, went for the 223, so a little bit further behind on fuel for that medium timing. And look at the impact crushing away that wire has. You know, keeping its cover positions open has been so valuable to S.L.A.Y.E.R throughout this match. Did get the suppression in though before the concussive grenade stunned the Dishka. Oh, but they came out of suppression. Bad news for the engineer. Starts ripping in once all the sternpipes have finished reloading there. Slightly late retreat though from S.L.A.Y.E.R again. Pushing that oh, okay. T-34 not going to dive past here. There is a mine back there. Could have backfired horribly. And Rakishin now getting shot up. Another Rakishin in the center, clearing off these tank traps. Here comes the AKW Panzer IV though in response to Rakishin quite low from S.L.A.Y.E.R, leaving her on the front lines in that fashion. We do have a ZIS rolling up. DarkRegion, but still quite far off actually. So DarkRegion's going to have to give up this position. Just doesn't have the answer now without the ZIS. Hoping that the T-34 can get some lucky shots here. Apply some bleed. Oh, Ober's dead over here for Kaiser. Ooh, that's a bit ugly. Kaiser now very light on infantry actually.
Tank, reporting for orders.
Cromwell versus Panzer IV. Got a stolen Raketen for Guard2707, so he's got the MG34 and Raketen. It's led to a massive swing in army sizes. You can see Guard2707 30 pop cap ahead of his opponent in his region of the map. It's DarkRegion, actually pretty close to S.L.A.Y.E.R. Oh, well, he's ahead of him now. Cromwell comes in, now clumped up on the light cover, big wipe. Cromwell running really hot here with the scatter. 16 kills already. Don't see that too often from the Crommy. So, Allies getting cooking again.
A capture point is being overrun.
And the Axis, you know, going for double battle group, not going to have access to the walking Stook anytime soon, which could be trouble, given that now Guard2707 has a lot of team weapons. So far away from rocket artillery. I don't think Kaiser will go for the Sturm Tiger. I suppose it's possible, but it's not so popular these days after all the nerfs. It's the end of the Kerbal finally. That's a bit of a shame. Could have started to use it in detection mode, but I don't think we saw S.L.A.Y.E.R use it in detection mode at all this match. You could have parked it somewhere in the middle of the map. Got some intel with that. Some heavy sappers. You can hear their Vickers getting to work. Will it be the A.V.R.E next for Guard2707? He's got a pretty good setup for it, honestly. Salvaging the Kubel wreck. Looks like the Axis are going to double team this area again. Try to fight back some territory. The VP's actually pretty close to even. But fuel control feels like it's been stronger for the Allies. They actually dropped the LMG. Engineers have got it. So now I've got a Vickers and an MG34. It's going to make them very strong. Ooh, okay, there we go. Panzer IV gets one back. From, you know, Guard2707 kind of getting a taste of his own medicine with mediums wiping a unit very quickly. Oh, Sternprize in some big trouble. T-34 wants to finish the job. T-34 misses though. That was a close one. Got a mortar pick coming up actually, so I think maybe it'll work out, but I thought he'd be trying to save manpower for the A.V.R.E. Doesn't have healing, or like medics or a forward assembly with healing, just relying on the two sections at this stage. A pretty standard mortar pit positioning.
Capture point.
Can
They're
be
trying to take it.
reasonably hard to defend in this position though. Let's get a few mines down. Actually quite low on munitions.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
I'm in some trouble here, but the Cromwell coming in for some crushes. No time to retreat. Might still actually be able to get a wipe here. The Cromwell's got the reload bonus. It's helping him out a bit. Ooh. Decides not to chase any further though with the Raketin on hand, and Panzer IV is healthy again, so it was a reasonable time to give up the chase. I think if he knew for sure that that Cromwell shot was going to knock the Fox down to one model, he probably would have continued to chase, but I think he decided to disengage before that shot had landed and couldn't really restart momentum.
The enemy have 300 points.
Trading shots, and the Panzer IV's armor holding up here. Oh, the Cromwell's armor though. Bouncing a shot. Bit of good fortune there for Guard2707. Okay, second T-34 for DarkRegion has also got a quad. So, you know, these planes airborne assault, not as powerful as the ones, sector assault ones. Hey, better safe than sorry. Also has the munitions for anti-tank Overwatch ready to go DarkRegion, so could see a ram attempt on this Panzer IV at some stage, try and knock it out. Big shot there. Is this decrewed? Conscript's going to get an 18-8 off, but the overs are there, going to try to prevent the recrew and maybe could kill or steal this actually. Second T-34 now coming up to assist. But there we go, is this completely destroyed? Is he going to go in for the suicide plays? He's got the anti-tank Overwatch, this could work out anyway. T-34 is coming down. He's dropped the anti-tank Overwatch. There's a 4. Does have a decent path to get to the edge. The Sternpo's actually managed to repair off the engine crit. DarkRegion a little bit too slow springing that attack. Without the if he saw that engine crit, that would be a completely different story. But actually managed to decrew the Raketin. Could get some revenge here for his lost Zis. Infantry's quite far off being able to steal this though, and both his tanks with the damaged engine. Panther second for S.L.A.Y.E.R, and it is going to be a Sturm Tiger. These are actually, I think they've got a bonus against replacements, so maybe that's part of the reason he wants to knock out this mortar pit, which did actually take a good chunk of damage at some stage, repairing up now. AVRE back the other way, so it's battle of these big siege units. Man, S.L.A.Y.E.R pushing his luck here, I think, a bit with this Panzer IV. Does manage to recover the Raketin though, so it's good news. And goes Sturm Tiger rolling up. It's going to target the trench. Squad jumps out. He targeted the rear of the trench. Only one model down, but it's not that impressive. Trench is completely destroyed. He's got 2. What else do you get? Maybe you got one of these engineers out the back that was wounded. Oh, that counts as a building destroyed. A trench kill, eh? Okay, I thought might not because it's ambient. Fire there from the Raketin. It was camouflaged. Revealing itself now. It is on negative cover though, so it's getting dropped rapidly by this conscript squad. Just about gets decrewed. Reloads. AVRE's ready to roll. Sturm Tiger just about back up to full strength again. Here comes the Panther. DarkRegion has saved up enough for the anti-tank Overwatch again though. Sturm Tiger raising its barrel here. Goes for a short ranger. Doesn't quite get the wipe though. Decent idea from Kaiser though. You could see that Guard2707 felt like he was safe running forwards, expecting it to be a bit further back, but it wasn't. Kaiser started the barrage closer, expecting that he would run into it. Close call on those obers, man. S.L.A.Y.E.R really does some risky maneuvers with those retreats. So often they're late. This not quite in position to fire back. Smoke out from S.L.A.Y.E.R, but shot down that plane very quickly. The AVRE actually switching sides. Interesting idea. Sturm Tiger rolling up again. He's got 5 kills. Dropped the LMG, I think it was. Dropped another weapon, the flamethrower this time. Comes the Sturm Tiger, rolling forwards quite quickly. Looks like he's going to target the mortar pit. Or targets the machine gun, but they were very spread out, the crew members. A little bit of AoE damage on the mortar pit. The Cromwell, though, trying to get aggressive. Ooh, that was a close one. The AVRE rolling up on the Raketin. Ooh, he goes down. Yeah, you got to be careful. Hit retreat instead of just trying to move it, and you know when you retreat it's actually slower at dodging the AVRE shell. They run forwards and then they start turning around, so you stay in that same area longer overall. A little bit clumsy here from Guard2707 though, pushing forwards with the AT gun, gets found out by the Axis infantry. He's going to go for the steal on that. I thought the COH2 was going to be over here, but no, it's up in the north somewhere. Drops anti-tank Overwatch, stopping the Panther from chasing. Got himself a bit of freedom. Edge of the zone's over here. AVRE doing some risky maneuvering. Try to hit these squads on retreat, but doesn't quite get the squad wipe. He drops down the flame mortar support though on the AT gun. That gets decrewed. There's a full blitzing out to safety, one shot. Who's going to win this one though as the dust settles? The Sturm Tiger actually reloading on the front lines. Could be a bit risky stuck up against the flag like that. Oh, here we go. Rotation from S.L.A.Y.E.R. Bringing down the infantry and the tanks. And the Cromwell knocked out just like that. Fortunately, are highly vetted as well. Throw out the Blinkkörper. Opportunities do go down, but I think that's a decent trade for the high vet Cromwell. AT gun over here killed off by the stolen Raketin, and he could get the other Raketin as well. Take a look at army sizes. Slight lead for the Allies. Oh. Decent shot, but again the models on that weapon crew were so spread out. The Sturm Tiger is going to pop the grenade launcher here as it backs away. Dodges away. If he got stunned in front of the Raketin, that could have been the end for the Sturm Tiger, but it's just out of range. The decrewed weapon though did get completely destroyed by Guard2707. 34 rolling up. This is a dangerous game from Kaiser. It's out of there though. AVRE. Only 1 kill. Ober's quite low in health though after that. Got a bit of spinning over there. The Panther's going to rotate down again, and S.L.A.Y.E.R now switching over to the walking Stuka, which I think is a pretty good idea. Still relatively early on, you know, 30 minutes into the game, but both teams around 250 VPs, so plenty of time for that walking Stuka to work. Close call, but all the OKW infantry surviving. Big damage from the AVRE though. AT gun meanwhile getting slaughtered by these Fallschirmjäger. Panther pushing in here, DarkRegion really up against it, losing that Zis. He just doesn't have the answer to the Panther. Not quite there for the anti-tank Overwatch to make this maneuver a bit safer, so the Allies having to take a large backward step here. Firefly in the build for Guard2707, but perhaps arriving a little bit late. Is a little bit under strength for anti-tank after losing the 6-pounder. And it's getting exploited a bit now by the Axis. We got the Fallschirmjäger though. Panzer IV going in for a bit of a dive here, a bit of a throw I think from Kaiser. I don't know what he's doing that far forwards. DarkRegion did end up dropping down the anti-tank Overwatch, trying to make it a bit safer for the Allies. Stop S.L.A.Y.E.R's tanks from getting involved. Panther next for Kaiser. Does have a much better chance of penetrating against the AVRE. Okay, here comes the AVRE again. It's a decent amount of damage done and the stun, but there's nothing really to follow that up. Here comes the walking Stuka. Strong first barrage there for S.L.A.Y.E.R. 9 kills. Kitten completely destroyed for Guard2707. I think that was Vet 2 as well, that's stolen the Kitten. Sturm Tiger though in very deep. Manages to decrew the Vickers with the grenade launcher. In a bit of a spot of trouble. Doesn't have an anti-tank gun to back this up. Low on snaring units as well. Panther freshly constructed, speeding forwards, but the AVRE able to stun. The T-34 does need to get on the rear armor here. Or maybe not with the Firefly arriving. There goes the Sturm Tiger. Panther from S.L.A.Y.E.R and Kaiser just arriving too late. That was greedy, staying in there with the Sturm Tiger, trying to get the kill on that team weapon. He pays the price. T-34 going to try to prevent the Firefly from going down, but unable to do so. Now the T-34's in some trouble as well. It goes in for the ram and it penetrates. Maybe the AVRE could finish the job. There's this coming down from the other angle. AVRE having some trouble, and this is one area where the turret changes on the AVRE actually hurting it rather than helping it. Every time he wants to fire, the turret's often facing the wrong direction. And he misses the stun. The plane's coming down from S.L.A.Y.E.R, but the quad is alive and does exist. Let's see if they manage to lock onto the AVRE here, or if it's going to vanish. Oh, it's still alive, but the Panther's staying in there. And there goes the AVRE, daring plays from Kaiser, but it works out. Mortarpit's in some trouble as well, taking some incendiary grenades. Trying to get in range with the Royal Engineers to get the snare off. Here it comes. Panther could be in some trouble now. There's this up here, getting barraged by the walking Stuka. The T-34 though, trying to get away. Attack rounds not getting through the building. Big bundle grenade. Looks like the mortar pit's going to fall. But so does the T-34, actually. The Panzer IV swooping in for S.L.A.Y.E.R. And look at that. Kills the T-34 and the Zis. Panther limping home to safety. Knocks out the mortar pit. Oh boy, that was a chaotic sequence. I think, you know, Allies paying the price. DarkRegion using the anti-tank Overwatch over here to prevent the tanks from coming in. If they'd had it for this engagement instead, it would have been so much stronger, so much more useful. But that was a devastating attack by the Axis. They just did so much. Quite often we see that kind of aggression backfire, but on this occasion, did incredibly well. Others, though, maybe overestimating their firepower against the Vet 3 engineers with the Vickers and a flamethrower at close range. And they do have that armor from that upgrade. Katyusha rocket attack. Looks like the Panzer IV's going to blitz in, try knock that out. Maybe not. Fresh T-34 for DarkRegion. Panther dead in the far corner though. How did that even happen? The 6-pounder got 2 shots off. The engineers finished off perhaps. Maybe there's a mine here. I thought that was home and free for Kaiser. Could maybe have used emergency repairs on that Panther at some stage as well. So that does make things a bit more even. If that Panther had survived, I think the Allies would have been in major trouble, but it does keep the two armies within striking distance of each other in terms of size. Allies are falling behind on the victory points though. Here comes the walking Stuka again. So far they've been excellent. This one not as successful. Fresh King Tiger out for S.L.A.Y.E.R now. Kaiser. There's a lot of manpower. There's a few options. Should probably go for a Raketen to provide some backup to the Jagdpanzer just in case it gets flanked by the T-34. Maybe there's some anti-tank Overwatch shenanigans. Need that supporting anti-tank. Plant some of those tank traps down again, but not working out too well. Panzer IV meanwhile, 60 kills. Monstrous for S.L.A.Y.E.R. How many of those are vehicles? 3. 5 friendlies. We'll gloss over that. Dead out the back here. Was that the walking Stuka again? What was that? Rovers perhaps? T-70 being built by DarkRegion. That's a curious choice. I wonder if that was a misclick. Decent Katyusha barrage here. But Dishka dead. King Tiger feeling confident. Really need like an SU-85 to try and contain this King Tiger, but he's going for the T-70, using it in recon mode. He'd be better off going for a mortar and using the recon on that instead. Flare. Dropping down the anti-tank Overwatch. Did penetrate the King Tiger with that ram, by the way. King Tiger trying to back away here. So got a long way to go. Maybe the Panzer IV can attract a few of the shots, allow the King Tiger to escape. Oh, the 6-pounders there as well. Oh boy, conscripts providing vision. Try and drop down some smoke. Partially working out, but there was just such a long way for it to go. It was very well activated. King Tiger was stuck right in the center. Fortunate though for DarkRegion that he penetrated with that ram. 60 pin on the ram versus 375 armor I think on the King Tiger. Under 50%, but let's go too, you know. Okay, there goes the Volksgrenadier squad. There's a looking Stuka, strong. Cruise the 6-pounder, nearly knocks out the machine gun as well. Oh, you don't want to go head to head with the hero Panzer IV. Doesn't even pop blitz yet. He's chasing him down. But a lot of misses both ways here. Look at it, Panzer IV does get quote is moving accuracy of Vet 5, not that you're not from how it's running here. He's blitzing in now. Oh, but he gets the kill. There's that bonus reload speed from the blitz. Here comes the Firefly though, looking to mop up the Hero Panzer IV. S.L.A.Y.E.R doesn't have a response, doesn't even have a Raketin. So he loses both of his tanks in a short order.
Trying to take one of our points.
Oh, the Jagdpanzer though, looking for some revenge. They got the 6-pounder there though. Oh, and the Tulip rockets both connecting. Oh boy, that's bad news for Kaiser. That was a bit greedy from Kaiser, but well executed Tulip rockets. That was pretty much perfect. Couldn't get any prettier than that. Otherwise, there's a pretty high chance the Jagdpanzer would have been able to get away.
We've 75 points remaining.
Jagdpanzer now for S.L.A.Y.E.R. Kaiser going for double machine guns. It should be relatively successful, but still I think does need a Raketin as well. There's a looking Stuka again though, this could be nasty. So successful that one. Quad's getting involved now. Both teams starting to get a bit desperate. Especially the Allies though, they're low on victory points. Need to hold on. There's T-34 rolling up for DarkRegion. AEC from Guard2707. Very low on fuel. Yeah, the game's still wide open. You can see the Allies actually have pulled a slight lead in army size now. But the Panthers in the build for Kaiser should even things up a lot. So Jagdpanzer in the center for S.L.A.Y.E.R. Still think you could do with a Raketin to back this up. DarkRegion still about 50 munis away from the anti-tank overwatch. The conscripts with the flamethrower there, nasty against the Fallschirmjäger.
Ready to execute. Yes, comrade.
Sweeper coming forward, spots the mine, attack round though. Clears it off. A Bofors is getting planted to try cover the central VP area. It's a decent idea. Do have the napalm strike available though from the walking Stuka.
Upgrade has finished.
Command vehicle on the AEC. Could start to use those recon planes. The double overs doing their best here, but they are getting chopped up. Used to throw out a grenade, but easy dodge. Would be better off throwing the smoke grenade instead of the high explosive there. Might have even been able to block some vision from the machine gun. Kaiser actually cancelled the Panther and looks like it's going for a King Tiger. Still do have that Firefly on the field though. Fallschirmjäger sneaking in here with the camouflage. Attack round. Try to find them. But the tank trap actually blocking a few shots. Smoke coming out. Smoke blocking the Bofors from actually manually attacking. Has to be attack grounding, and it's doing well in terms of scatter.
An emplacement is being attacked.
Hard fight for that central VP area. The Jagdpanzer coming in from the side, trying to clear off the Bofors. Sure it is. Where's the incendiary grenade? Oh, never threw it. Nearly going down to the Bofors, but he's bracing through the damage. Throw an incendiary grenade. It might have just about been enough. There's a walking Stuka again. Looks like that's targeting this. Better waiting another, few seconds till that bracer worn off. Mistiming that barrage. Big infantry force coming in from Kaiser. Getting around the side of the machine gun with the stern pies as well. The AEC is doing its best to assist the British troops. Flame mortar support down for Guard2707. He is floating a bit of manpower at this stage. Should maybe try field some extra units to cap with.
Enemy infantry having a pop.
T-34 coming up to the north. Does not have veterancy, so can't go for any secure mode shenanigans. And do have a bunker up maybe a little bit too far back. I think a squad could just cap on the far edge without getting targeted by the MG. Oh, this could be trouble. King Tiger's driving in here. AC popping off the tread shot. Anti-tank overwatch down. King Tiger, I think, has to drive forwards. Instead, started reversing for Kaiser. Anti-tank overwatch is starting to roll down. Got the engine crit. And yeah, that was an easy kill. I did have my doubts about that King Tiger being successful. And they proved to be correct. Had to drive forwards as well, just... There's no way he was getting away coming through the anti-tank overwatch in that direction. It was only, maybe like 30 range off driving forwards. Probably still would have died, but might have survived a bit longer. Got a kill on something with the King Tiger. That's a big loss for Kaiser. Such a huge investment. Just immediately killed. But that's, the power. That's why the AEC is there, to go for those tread shots. Locking it in place, combining up with the shield rockets. Looks like the Bofors did end up surviving all that.
Under attack.
So still a menace. Just having trouble dealing with it.
Enemy forces are neutralizing.
Schwarzenegger sneaking in to provide some vision. We've got double Jagdpanzers now for S.L.A.Y.E.R. Trying to knock out this weapon. Here comes the walking Stuka. Those could actually be quite successful. Oh, I don't know about that direction. If it came in from this angle, would have done massive work. Racing through now. He's still getting repaired up, so that doesn't work out too well for S.L.A.Y.E.R. Conscript dead over here for DarkRegion. Allies are back on the drain. Axis doing a good job holding on over here.
We've 25 points left. Nil desperandum, as they say.
Bofors does end up going down, and there's this only just hanging in there. Merges in. Conscript's heading up to the north. That bunker's still there. Don't know if it's revealed itself yet, even. 6-pounder in the center, decrew by the overs. Speaking of overs, these ones from Kaiser go down so fast. And those Royal Engineers, they got their capping speed bonus. But not if they run out of the point. Oof, they're just still in there. T-34 coming in. The Jagdpanzers rolling through the center. There's this, facing the wrong direction. 6-pounder still decrewed. Allies so low on VPs here, and the Axis capping in the middle. And the cap up here jammed. And I think that's going to be it. The Allies just don't have the infantry to cap the points in the right place at the right time. So there you go. Well done by the Axis. A little bit of float from the Allies on the tail end of this one. Maybe with a tiny bit more. They could have got the job done here. But yeah, well played. Well played by the Axis. I think it was those dives. That dive that really worked out well for the Axis earlier on. Came in here, got a lot of work done. And that moment over here where all sorts of units died for the Allies. I think it was like the AVRE, maybe a Firefly, a bunch of other stuff. Allies just a little bit under strength in the anti-tank department. You know, if they don't have that anti-tank Overwatch ready to go, which they didn't, they used it in the north a bit earlier. They're a little bit under strength in anti-tank. You know, the anti-tank guns got decrewed and they maybe had one tank, not enough snaring squads, no mines. So it's got swarmed in and the Axis able to capitalize, able to win. GG, well played by the Axis. You know, able to overcome a pretty high ranked arranged team here. Well, anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like a game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you off the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.